This is a production of Off the Hook Sports with Dave Hooker.
He's Jacob Warren. I'm Dave Hooker. Here we go in the summer, and right around the corner, we will have SEC Media Days. But first, Jacob's getting in some fishing. So, how are you doing down there? I know it's a bit of vacation time. How's the waters treating you down there?
Yeah, we haven't been out yet. We're supposed to go out today, and it's looking not super promising right now. I'm looking out at the weather, and there's some sunshine over here, but it's a lot of clouds and darkness and stuff and rain. So we'll see if we end up getting out. Hopefully, the captain texts us and says it's safe to go out. So we'll see. I'll have a report next time I talk to you.
Gotcha. Well, and college. The SEC tournament is having a lot of struggles with the weather as well.
Right.
So, but I'll tell you what's going to happen when you get to the point where that rain stops. That grass is going to sprout up. That's why you need to go to Vassy Lawn and Garden. They are absolutely fantastic when it comes to repair and selection. Lawnmowers, commercial wide area mowers. They've got the zero turn mower with a steering wheel. Trimmers, blowers, the edgers, they've got it all right there. And financing 48 months or 3.99% for 60 days. But that 48 months, you get 0% APR, which is awesome. On the spot financing. That's Vassy Lawn and Garden. Toro, count on it. I'm going to tell you more about Michael Jacobs, too, in the middle of this crazy market. Michael Jacobs is clutch. He can take the pressure off you. In this housing market that is absolutely insane, like way beyond once in a generation. MJ Michael Jacobs is right here for you on this page. All right, so Jacob, I'm curious. I mean, you're a player. I'm just a media guy. So in this big machine of college football, we're a little bit smaller than the Jimbo Fishers and the Nick Sabans of the world.
Right.
But when they start going at it publicly, do you take note? Do you kind of find it entertaining?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it and seen it, and I think I had a conversation with a guy. We were playing golf the other day, and we got paired up with him, and he was like, you could think about whatever they said, but these guys surely won't say anything without thinking about it, right? They're going to think about what they put out to the media before they say it. They're professionals, they're grown adults, like they understand what they're saying. So obviously both of them have a reason for whatever point they're making. And you can agree with whoever you agree with, but I think it's interesting to sit back and just kind of watch and see what everybody has to say and kind of, I don't know, just listen to the stories that they tell and try to decipher what's true, what's not.
Well, the crux of the matter was name, image, and likeness money being used in recruiting. So I want to ask you about that because that wasn't around, obviously, when you were recruited.
Right.
At least that you can tell me about, but that's up to you. But as far as factoring in something like that, I mean, how much would that change the recruiting process, do you think, for a guy like you?
Yeah. Obviously, there was, before NIL started, it was essentially the same thing for a lot of people. Just it was all under the table, right? And that's every school in America did it. I will start by saying right now, I received no money to attend the University of Tennessee, and that's my word. You can have it, but like there was like so many. Like I just hear stories of different people or of oh wow, that guy at X school got this amount of money to get this, or you see a kid at another school, driving a new truck or just a new car or whatever, right when they get to school or when they were being recruited. And it's just like, how did that happen? You know what I mean? Because you didn't post on your story saying, oh, I'm working with Harper Auto. You know what I mean? Like none of that happens. Like, so there's just a lot of question marks and a lot of stuff under the table. And now all that stuff is now above the table. But I think you run into the same issues of people that, recruiting has been changed. It was the same, right? The guys were still getting the money, but now they're getting the money over the table. But it's still presenting the same issue of, okay, you're giving this kid a lot of money or you're giving them a car, whatever it may be. And truly, like, they haven't done anything yet. So where is the line between, you know what I mean? What if they come in and they're not producing and they're not doing this or not doing that? Then what do you do? It's just there's so many like issues that can arise with the recruiting piece of it, I think.
Okay, that's where I want to go. So take me into the locker room because that's the
Yeah.
kind of insight that we just can't get anywhere else. Okay, and I'm not
Mhm.
going to name names, but let's say a guy's promised multi-millions of dollars to play for Tennessee, and there was a report that came out from the Athletic at a similar time. But again, we don't know that that's the guy, so I'm not even going to say his name. But
Right.
let's say that guy comes in, and it's pretty much common knowledge that he got 7 digits before he even played a down of college football.
Mhm.
How is that guy viewed? Because you got players like you. I mean, I see you craving wings. You're doing
Mhm.
this show. You're making some scratch. So that's good. But to the best of my knowledge, it ain't 8 million unless it's something I don't know about. So, I mean, how is that guy viewed when he walks in the locker room and he's the $8 million man?
That's him. I I get what I get, and I think I work pretty decently hard for what I get, and I appreciate all of the opportunities that I have. Um, but I also understand that I'm not the super high value, super high target people like guy for a lot of people, and that's true all the way up into the NFL. You know what I mean? Like there's players that are going to be valued higher than other players, regardless of what I mean, how hard they work or what position they play. Like it's just going to happen, and so I think realizing I'm not saying that other people are valued higher, like themselves or any higher value than I am or anyone else on the team, but um, to the outside for a media, for a marketing advertisement purpose, some people just have higher values than others. And the quicker you can realize that, the quicker you can understand that it's not that kid or that guy that's getting, not him personally isn't getting more than me, but just literally his image and what he's able to do for other companies is just greater than mine. And I
Well,
don't care because I'm taking full advantage of what I've been given, right? So I'm making the money that I'm making, and that's plenty enough for me because I'm a college kid. I don't have any true expenses. I don't have kids to pay for. I don't have a house to pay for. I
lucky.
don't, you know, what I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't like. So that extra, however many $1,000, like sure, I could go buy shoes and buy clothes, but I can do that now. So like, what do I need that for? You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see it. I'm not saying that's how everybody sees it, but that's what keeps me from you know, being jealous or envious of what these other people might have. If that makes sense.
No, if it feels like you found the happy medium between, let's say, Arian Foster needs tacos to eat, which was a very public story, and then SMU back in the day, way before your time, back in the '80s, that got the death penalty because they were giving everything away. You found the happy medium of what makes you happy, and it fits under the rules. Do most of the players of agree with that notion? Do most of the players look at it like that, or is there potential, just like of a group of 85 men in any profession, that some people
Right.
resent a player getting that much more?
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be resentment naturally. I haven't personally like heard anyone make comments about it in the locker room or on the team. I haven't. It's more of just like a wow. Like, did you hear? Did you hear X? Did you hear Y? Like, did you hear about it? Not more of like no man, like forget that. Like I don't want that. I don't want him being around here or whatever it may be. Like it doesn't seem like there's a lot of resentment at the current moment. Um, Everybody's kind of just doing their own thing, and um, I don't know. I guess if you can put that aside and not even think about money, which no one on our team should be thinking about it right now. Should be thinking about ball. Should be thinking about playing in the fall, right? This NIL thing has now introduced this whole entire new problem and stressor that we all have to think about. And so
But ultimately,
it's just more
no,
complex now.
it's bizarre. It's changed so much in just a year. It's bizarre. But I would argue, have they handled it completely right? Probably not. But I would argue
Mhm.
that at the end, it's a positive change because
Yeah.
I've seen you guys as players, And this is back when coaches were making less than $100,000 a year,
Right.
so there wasn't
Right.
a lot of money to dole around. But I have seen players struggle. So I think in the end, it's a good thing. Maybe just some fine tuning. That's kind of what I'm
Right. And I know that the big issues have been with the collectives, right? They have these collectives of money or these organizations that just have bukus of money. They're able to, invest and give this money to the players, which is legal right now. But obviously, it might take away donor money from the school, which that the school might really need, or it might, it just replaces funds that it's a whole thing. There's obviously lots of logistics, but to me, it's a great thing because I'm able to do what I've always wanted to do, and that's market myself to local businesses in Knoxville and get products that, like, I get free wings, I get food for free, and that's with a partnership with a wing company that is in my hometown, right? Like, there's all different types of
Give him
things.
a shout out. Give him a shout out.
Yeah, shout out Craven Wings on South North Shore in Choteau, and there's one in Seymour. You walk in, you'll know which one it is because my face is right there in the front, and I get pictures from all my friends, all my family, and stuff like, "Oh wow, man! Like you made it big or whatever." Because they'll go into Craven Wings and see my face on a big poster, like that's about the size of me, and it's funny. But like things like that, man. Just connecting with, I guess, my community and in the NIL sense, and I got something working now with Carnes Vision Center, so they're hooked me up with a few pair of glasses and sunglasses, and that's part of my brand. That's part of my image is my glasses. I wear glasses every day, and everyone knows me. Or if they don't know me and they say, "Hey, that's that tall kid with the glasses," they're like, "Oh yeah, I probably remember. Like I remember that kid." So that's part of my brand, and so to me, that's what NIL is. That's capitalizing on your image, your brand, and getting things that you might not want to pay for free. Like that's really all it is for me.
Yeah. Tell Dr. Shane Preston I said hello. He was my doctor.
Dr. Shane, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
my doctor until I moved just about 5 years ago. So
Cool guy.
Yeah. I talk like this. But anyway, so it is good. It is good for current players. We can both agree on that. The issue, I think, that whoever is the NCAA now, we could argue it's the SEC. They need to step in and do something about the recruiting inducements. I would think, because I just see too many opportunities for that to go awry. The other thing we haven't even talked about, Jacob, is what if a player signs a 3-year, $8 million contract and he's no good?
Doesn't play lick, right?
Yeah, I've covered 4 and 5-star kids, and you know as well as I do, recruiting hype gets so high. If they don't perform, it's not about the coaches. It's not about something that may be going on in his personal life. It's the kid's fault. In the end, that's the way fans are going to view it. I'm not saying that's the way it should be. Right. So I mean, that to me is a scary issue too. What if a guy's not a good player?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a kid is in the position that he is, recruiting wise. He wouldn't be there if he wasn't a solid player, right? Straight up, like recruiting. Like, yeah, there's a lot of busts, there's a lot of this, a lot of that, but for a kid to be a truly like a high target guy, he's going to be a good player. So, but as we all know, it doesn't matter if you're a good player in high school because everyone on my team right now, the starters, the backups, the third strings, they were all like that guy at their high school, right? They were all the best one at their high school, and they wouldn't be where they're at now if they weren't. But that does not mean that you can come in and be the best guy at an SEC school, regardless if it's Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi State, Texas A&M. Doesn't matter. Like you have to change the mindset and you essentially have to reach a new level within yourself, right? And that's something I had to discover very quickly when I got here. Not that I was, super hot-headed or that I thought that I was the world or whatever, but just the fact that I had to make that realization, like you're not ready to play college football. You thought you were, but you're not. Like you have to take a year, 2 years to get ready to play. And once you're there, then start, start, I don't know, then realizing what your potential is, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know. There'll be a shift for all our new freshmen of okay, I was recruited and this is what everyone told me I was. That's not who I am. Like, I have to go and I have to work for it. And the ones that work for it will be successful, and the ones that don't will just kind of just like fall back, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And I do. I wonder, would it make matters better or worse if all of the players had to report what they're making, so that at the end of the day, every player, 1 through 85 scholarship players, that they know what each individual player is making? Would that help or hurt the situation?
To me, I feel like it would hurt because like I don't think anyone except for maybe a couple people in the locker room knows how much I make. People probably think I make way more than I make. People probably think I make less than I make. So it's none of their truly like this is how I feel like I guess I was raised not money isn't necessarily like a sensitive topic, but it's something that you just unless it's someone that you trust and that you care about, you don't really discuss how much you make because truly it just doesn't matter, right? So not many people know how much I make, and I'm happy with that. So I would personally not want there to be a list, one to whatever of income, just because I don't think it would be. I think it would do nothing but create dissension and I guess maybe jealousy. I don't know. It's kind of good that no one really knows the true number because people assume. I assume someone might make less. If they make way more than that, I'm like, well, how are you getting all that money? But
No, that's a good point. I thought I had a remedy for the situation, but I think that'll ultimately just make it worse. So I know I'm bugging you on your vacation, but I'm curious how important it is in terms of your mindset to get in the right frame of mind, because I haven't played college football, but I do know that enough to basically the end of July, early August, it gets going in a routine, and then the season just reinforces that.
mhm.
And really, you just you have an opportunity to stick your head up for water, maybe a bye week or so. But other than that, man, you're rolling. So what do you do mentally to get yourself prepared for that gauntlet?
Yeah, like you said, it kind of starts like early to mid July, and the real stuff starts. Obviously, June and early July is tough just because we're in conditioning and running a lot, working out, doing field stuff. But um, the sun's still up. We're still enjoying going to the pool after workouts and hanging out. We're still enjoying all this other stuff. And then once you get close to the season, you got to really, really lock down and start getting ready, like you said, for that grind, for that 7 month, 6, 7 month grind. So right now, I'm just trying to just enjoy just time. Right, my biggest thing is I enjoy not having to be anywhere. Whether I schedule things on my own to go do, that's fine. But not having anything that's forcing me to be somewhere is really good for me mentally, just because I can relax and I cannot constantly be checking my clock. Like, okay, what time is it? When do I need to leave? I've got an alarm set for when I need to like get up from my bed or whatever, and I got an alarm set for when I need to leave my house and all this other stuff. So just not having to worry about that has been great, and I'm able to just spend time with my family and um, like I said, just enjoy the beach and enjoy good food. I love seafood and shrimp and crab and all that. So I'm down here just enjoying the good food here and yeah, just trying to take it easy before everything starts getting back into it.
He is Jacob Warren, the Vol Report, brought to you in part by our friend MJ. MJ is local to Knoxville. He knows the real estate market. He makes the process enjoyable. Buying and selling a house is the most stressful thing you can do. MJ wants to take the pressure off of you and allow you to enjoy the process. That is clutch. That's MJ. Buying or selling a home means navigating a tough market, tough for buyers and sellers. Houses are staying on the market a bit longer. So there's an opportunity if you know MJ. He can pounce. Clutch. That's MJ. Michael Jacobs, Exit Realty Pros. Again, Michael Jacobs. So certainly check him out of Exit Realty Pros. And we'll remind you of Vassy Lawn and Garden. It is time to get your yard in order. We have a rainy weekend. It's a great time to get up there, check out all they have and what you need. And again, the 0% APR for up to 48 months and 3.99% for 60 months. Man alive, it's worth the drive. At Toro, count on it. Vassy Lawn and Garden. They bring you Jacob Warren and the Vol Report today. We'll talk to you next week. And Jacob, do you bring any of the fish home that you catch, or I've always wanted to. Here's the way I start every vacation. I say, I am going deep sea fishing. Me and my son are going right. So then day 7 rolls around, the vacations, and we're like, darn it, I didn't do it. Yeah. So you seem pretty dedicated to it. What do you think you'll be bringing back to Knoxville? Any rough idea?
I think so. What we do when we go fishing is we'll do all the catching, whatever, and get them to clean the fish for us at the port, at the dock, whatever, and then we'll bring it back and we'll cook it that night and have like a fish fry, and we'll make fries and corn and whatever. So I think we're going for snapper today. We're going for red snapper. So, and also maybe some small grouper, I think is what he said we could be getting into. So that's what's on the dinner list for tonight. Is a snapper and grouper. They'll fillet it up and we'll fry it up tonight.
Nice. Well, if you need company, just random, something ready to do, just pop in and just let me know.
8-hour drive, 8.5 hours, you'll be here.
It's not a bad drive except for that last 3 where you're all on the 3-lane roads.
Mm-hmm.
So he is Jacob Warren. I'm Dave Hooker. Have a fantastic day, everyone. This has been a presentation of Off the Hook Sports.